MMA scraps is why most shows tap out then cry. We the ones like them now at the end of the bout with our hands to the
say about it.
All show long, there's been this theme that's going on around with fighters, like lately, over the last few months, but especially a lot lately, and Dana White has finally come out and made a stand on it. But how do you feel about guys fighting their teammates? Are you for it or are you against it?
Oh, I'm against it. Only reason being, I'm a Jackson fighter, and before I got accepted to Greg Jackson's team, Greg had a meeting with Rashad Evans, and he had a meeting with Keith Jardine about whether or not they wanted to accept me in that team. Those guys are there first. They have their established trainers and everything, and they decided to accept me, and they opened me up to the best training camp in the world, and strength coaches, nutritionists, all this stuff that they have, I now have, and so I could never bite them by fighting one of my brothers. So
you would never ever fight Rashad Evans.
I would never ever fight Rashad Evans. Yes, correct.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Hold on, John. Hold on. I heard a for a second. What is that all about?
You thought about it.
I mean, if the money was right.
There we go.
There we go. $1 million.
That's what Pat said. What do you think?
For $1 million tonight.
I mean, I guess I would for $1 million. I mean,
would
if
you
we had a little
Rashad Evans for $10 million tomorrow?
Tonight, if you had a little gym, that'd be great. But we spar together every day. So I mean, for $1 million, I guess I could put the 4 ounces on.
I guess. What about for a title? A little bit less money, but more prestige. What about for the title?
No, not for a title.
If he was number one and you were number two, you wouldn't fight Rashad Evans to be the best in the world.
I would. My goal would be to be the toughest contender that ever lived. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I apologize.
That's all right, John. You don't have to apologize. We're just trying to figure it out, man. It's different for every person. You got to understand, Pat comes from a K1 background where that sort of thing really doesn't exist, because in K1, you almost have to fight your teammates. I mean, it's just, there's so many fights. That's the way it is.
I fought my teammates. I fought my friends. I mean, but that's just where I'm coming from. And I've always said, just like I said earlier, Travis, when the higher you get, the closer you get to the top of the mountain, the fewer guys, the smaller the competition is, because there's only a few people that are just standout elites. And some of us happen to be friends, some of us might even be teammates, and a lot of us are the same size and the same weight class. So eventually, you're going to have to run across somebody or somebody you're close with. Eventually. And there are a lot of people who are for it, John, a lot of people who are against it. I personally have no problem fighting a teammate, only because I've always strived to be the best in the world. Like I said, I've never met a fighter who looked forward to being third place. I've never met a prize fighter who his whole goal in life was to be the guy who never made it, who only was second best. And if your teammate happens to be the best in the world and you want that more than anything in the world, you've got to be willing to do any and everything. Now, but at the same, I don't think that anybody's crazy for not wanting to do it. This is just my opinion. I don't think it's a problem fighting teammates.
Oh, you're grimy, man. That's grimy.
Oh.
No. Listen, we're not coming down on you. We're not coming down. That's not it.
I'm teasing, man. I think that friendship is way more valuable than the money, And
but what I'm saying is, but this is the point that I was making earlier. There are a lot of guys who said they wouldn't fight their friends because they don't want to ruin their friendship. My thing is that your friendship can't be that stable if something like this is going to ruin it. Your friendship has something has to be wrong. Your friendship cannot be that stable or that solid if having a fight in the one of you winning, one of you losing is going to possibly end your friendship. Something's already wrong there. We're all friends. We all depend on each other to make a living. We all depend on each other to get better, and we all depend on each other to compete against. You need me, I need you. I mean, we all need each other. This is the circle that we're in. We've all, once we sign that contract, we have unconsciously agreed to fight on damn near anybody. I mean, eventually, what if there's nobody left but guys in your weight class? Are you just going to gain weight, or are you going to quit, or are you just going to say, hell with it, I'm never going to...
More specifically, and this is the last question on this, because, John, I don't want to push you into a corner. We only got a couple minutes left with you anyway. But more specifically, Dana has come out and said that this is going to happen. So what happens if Dana makes that call and says, listen, if you want to stay in the UFC, you've got to fight Keith Jardine or whoever. I mean, what happens then?
You know, I think there's lots of ways around it. You know, you can fake injuries, you could do anything. You know, I mean, there's just so many ways around it. You know, but you know, before I joined the team, that was the first conversation we had. It was just about friendship, and you know, Greg Jackson's team is known for their brotherhood, our brotherhood, and we treat each other with so much respect and love and genuine care. I mean, I have all these great fighters in my camp who tried their best to fight exactly like Brandon Vera leading up to that fight, and like everyone leaves the Eagles behind. I have, you know, guys making me protein shakes right after practice, guys who are UFC vets, and you know, there's just no egos, and these guys just opened my eyes to how to train like a pro athlete, and it would be so wrong of me to use all that I've gained from them against them. So it just won't happen.